The bereaved Chaminuka and Mutanda families, the First Lady Amai Auxiliary Mnangagwa in absentia, the Vice President and Second Secretary of ZANU-PF, Honorable General Retired Dr. C. Gideon Chwenga. In absentia, the Vice President and Second Secretary of ZANU-PF, Honorable Colonel Retired KCD Mohadi. The Chairman of ZANU-PF and the Minister of Defense, Honorable OCZ Mchinguri Kashiri. The Minister of State for Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Charles Tavengwa, and the Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers who are here. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate J.F. Mudenda, as represented. The President of the Senate, Amai M. Chinomona, the Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Luke Malava, as represented. President of the National Chiefs Council, Honorable Senator Muchana Kumalo. Politburo and Central Committee members who are here, and members of other political parties who are here. The Chief Secretary to the President Cabinet, Dr. Martin Lushoya, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ungwe, Commander Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General P.V. Svanda, Service Chiefs, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mayor of the City of Harare, His Worship, Councillor J. Mafume, veterans of the liberation struggle, senior government officials, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. Today we are gathered in solemn occasion here at the National Shrine, the resting place of our national heroes and heroines, to honor and inter a veteran of the liberation struggle and decorated the senior officer who served in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, the late national hero, retired Brigadier General Dr. Michael Chaminuka. The late military intelligence guru and liberation war stalwart, whose Chimurenga name was Comrade Pepukai Hondo, passed on in Harare on 13 July 2024 at the age of 62. His passing on is yet another huge blow, as the nation has lost a loyal, versatile, and astute officer who sacrificed his life to wholeheartedly serve Zimbabwe. His humble disposition, dedication, and commitment to duty, as well as his exemplary patriotism, unwavering consistency, and persistence in service to our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe, and this award of National Hero to rest among other great patriots of this country. On behalf of the nation, the government, and our revolutionary mass party ZANU-PF, my family, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to once again express deepest and heartfelt condolences to the Chaminuka family over this loss. I also express sincere condolences to the Mutanda family following the loss of yet another retired senior officer of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, retired Brigadier General Lamek Mutanda, who passed on and was buried in the United Kingdom. He was conferred with a posthumous national hero status in recognition of his selfless contribution to the liberation of Zimbabwe and service as an exemplary and a loyal military officer in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. I call upon Chaminuka and the Mutanda families to find comfort and solace from the great works that were done by these patriotic sons of Zimbabwe. Our prayers and deepest sympathies are with you during this trying and difficult period. My fellow mourners, comrades, and friends, the late Brigadier General retired Dr. Michael Chaminuka, whose Chimurenga name was Pepukai Hondo, was born on 2nd January 1962 under Chief Nematombo in Urungwe District, Mashonaland West Province. He did his primary education at Kapunde Primary School from 1969 in Urungwe and was later enrolled for secondary education at St. Columbus Secondary School in the Honde Valley. When he was in Form 2, the school was closed by the racist Smith regime, as many of the students had crossed the border into Mozambique to join the liberation struggle. Such cowardly strategies by the settler administration were futile and did not impede nor dampen the determination by young revolutionaries throughout the country from crossing our border with Mozambique to join the armed liberation struggle. The Rhodesian forces responded through torture and the wanton arrests of students. In spite of their tender ages, the young boys and girls continue to cross the border. That brutality remains etched in our memories and strengthens our resolve as a peaceful nation to defend our freedom, our independence, our democracy that we enjoy, which is underwritten by the blood of these heroes and heroines. The then young Michael moved to St. John's Secondary School in Chikwaka in Goromonzi district before suspending his studies in late 1977 to cross into Mozambique to join his contemporaries in the armed liberation struggle for the liberation of our motherland, Zimbabwe. The journey to foreign bases in our neighboring countries was not easy. The young cadres walked long distances often at night, through difficult terrain with dangerous wild animals, crossing crocodile-infested rivers and the borders manned by Rhodesian soldiers and laced with land mines. They were emboldened by the hope of a free Zimbabwe in future. The late national hero, Comrade Michael Chaminuka, arrived at Doroi camp, and after several months, he was selected for initial training at Tembwe Base 2 in 1978. On completion, the late Brigadier General was further selected for a military medical training course in Chimoyo under the tutorship of one of our long-serving national leaders and party elder, Comrade Dr. Sidin Sekramai. After the medical training course, Brigadier General Chaminuka was deployed to the Zimbabwe African National Liberation Army Zanla National Pharmacy in Mozambique. This strategic facility ensured that medicines and related sundries were constantly available to support those injured in the operational zones. As the Rhodesian forces were losing ground in the war front, they resorted to heinous methods of lacing food, medicine, and clothing destined for liberation fighters with poison. The late retired Brigadier General Chaminuka and his fellow comrades in the pharmacy division had to meticulously execute their duties by checking and testing medicines for poisonous substances before dispatch to the operational zones. This prevented fatalities of liberation fighters at the front. My fellow mourners, at ceasefire in 1979, the late general and his fellow comrades remained in Mozambique, protecting the pharmaceutical warehouse and ready for any relapse into war and fighting. When it became clear that independence was indeed certain, the late Comrade Pepukai Hondo joined other comrades at Echo Assembly Point in Nyanga in 1980, before being transferred to Tongogara Assembly Point in Chipinge. He was later attested in the Zimbabwe National Army on 5th January 1981 and deployed to serve under headquarters 1 Infantry Brigade in Bulawayo Province. During his illustrious career in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, the late general officer held several challenging appointments, which include the following: directing staff at the Zimbabwe Staff College, Gweru; Director Military Intelligence Department, MID, at Army Headquarters; and Director Business Development at the Zimbabwe National Defense University. He also served as a personal staff officer to then Commander Zimbabwe Defense Forces, now our Vice President General C.G.D.N. Chiwenga. During his distinguished career in the Zimbabwe National Army, the late general officer rose through the ranks to become brigadier general. He attended several military courses in intelligence, peacekeeping, and general command. The late Dr. Chaminuka was a recognized academic in the fields of defense and strategic studies, as well as international relations. He acquired a doctorate in philosophy, ethics, from the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. The military accolades and awards of the late national hero, retired Brigadier General Chaminuka, included several medals for his exemplary service to our mother country. These being the Liberation Medal, 10 years service medal, long and exemplary service medal, the Mozambique Campaign Medal, the Democratic Republic of Congo Campaign Medal, the United Nations Commendation Medal, and Grand Officer of the Zimbabwe of Merit Award. The late retired Brigadier General bequeaths to the nation a rich heritage and inspirational legacy of hard work, discipline, professionalism. The current generation of officers, men and women in our country's security services, are challenged to emulate such a culture of excellency, commitment to duty, and a focus on results, as demonstrated by our late national hero and his contemporaries. Comrades and friends, ladies and gentlemen, as we pay our last respects to the late national hero, retired Brigadier General Dr. Michael Chaminuka, let us never forget our long protracted and audacious Liberation War history. We have a duty to keep his history alive for the benefit of future generations. A people who do not know their history are like a tree without roots. This history must therefore continue to inspire us as we harness the main opportunities and ward off the challenges that we may face as we march on to realize our Vision 2030. We are forever emboldened by our philosophy. Nika Igotongba Igonamatirwa. Hallelujah. My dear comrades, Zimbabwe is a maturing constitutional democracy focused on promoting and consolidating our position in the Committee of Nations. I commend the government and people of our country who are accelerating preparations and the works related to the hosting of the 44th SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government, where we will assume the chairmanship of SADC. This historic event is preceded by the SADC Industrialization Week, which will be running next week from the 28th of July to 2nd of August. Our industry and commerce sectors and institutions of higher education, as well as our entrepreneurs, innovators, micro, small, and medium enterprises are encouraged to leverage on this event to further leapfrog our country's ongoing industrialization and modernization drive. Meanwhile, I call upon all the stakeholders, including the private sector, to partner my administration and other local authorities to enhance the environmental ambience, the cleanliness and the beauty of our cities in preparation for the summit and indeed into the future. We shall do it. I equally encourage all Zimbabweans to continue working hard to ensure a peaceful, safe, and a welcoming environment for visiting delegates and leaders. With unity of purpose across the various sectors of our society, let us collectively bear the weighty responsibility which hosting this important summit entails on our shoulders. In concluding, I say to the late national heroes, Brigadier General retired Michael Chaminuka and Brigadier General retired Lamek Mutanda, you will be remembered for your invaluable contribution to the liberation struggle and service to our motherland, Zimbabwe. You stood firm for justice by defending and protecting the territorial integrity of Zimbabwe through your loyal service in our defense forces. We will also remember your unflinching patriotism and being selfless team players. Zururai murugare vanavevu. Ambani kahle abantwana benhlabathi. Go well, sons of the soil. Zururai murugare magamba edu. Lalani ngokutula maqawe yetu. Rest in eternal peace, our decorated officers. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.